this might be the single best money-making method in all of Duet Night Abyss. What's going on, everybody? My name is Braxophone. You can call me Brax, and today I'm bringing you guys another DNA video talking about different ways to efficiently progress your account, and this one is going to be crazy because if done correctly, this method can yield up to 6 million coins per hour, and that's without any commission manuals or anything buffing your drop rates. This is legit, quick, and efficient, and if you do it correctly, you will reap the benefits. So in this video, just so you guys are aware, I will be going over the best money-making method in the game. However, I will also go over some lower level methods because, full disclosure, the best money-making method does require you to have trial rank 60. Now, you are still going to need money at that level. You are still going to need coins. So for those of you who are below trial rank 60, I will still have another method later on in the video, so stick around for that. Without further ado, let's just get right into it because I'm so excited to show this to you guys. So first things first, let's go over to the sanctuary, and I'm going to show you exactly where the magic happens. Now, if you're used to farming coins the way the game wants you to, you probably load up an excavation, go ahead and click match, and then start using your commission manuals to get bonus coins. You no longer have to do that. Be free, my children. Do not spend any more time in excavation. Honestly, that game mode is just hands-on enough to be annoying, but just hands-off enough to be also annoying. You match up with randoms in excavation, you also get the job done faster, but sometimes people are AFKing, sometimes people DC, and sometimes people leave before wave 5, which is incredibly annoying. So we want to avoid excavation at all costs, and I'm going to show you exactly how. If you go over to Echoes of Missteps and to the Mystic Maze, I actually do not have this unlocked on my account, but I did do a run on the beta account so that way I could get to level 80 to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about in this video. If you have done the Mystic Maze before, you probably are aware of the Spindle of Fate. This is where you can actually buy different sorts of demon wedges as well as some other helpful items, and one of which is going to be coins. For 50 thread, you can get 10,000 coins up to 20 times, and then everything after that is an unlimited supply of 5,000 coins. Now, the thing is, doing different levels of the Mystic Maze will give you thread even past the first reward. Based on the amount of trace points that you get, you will get more thread, and that thread can be exchanged for coins. How many coins, you might ask? Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'll cut right to the chase. At level 60 trial rank, you unlock the level 80 Mystic Maze, and when you do it, you actually have the option to run it with modifiers. If you run it with modifiers, you will get more trace points, and more trace points leads you to more threads of time bonuses that you'll get at the end of the run. So what you can do is, especially if you have your lantern light up tree with all your skill boosts, adaptability, melee, and range attack boosts, if you have that all kind of maxed out, you can activate every single multiplier and debuff that's meant to hold you back to maximize the amount of points you get. Once you clear a run, you can expect to get anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000 thread. That's not a hard cap or anything. That's just around the average of what I've been getting. And on this run that you're seeing on screen right now, I got around 9,000 thread. You want to guess how long that took? That run took me 15 minutes, and it wasn't even optimized. Runs of Mystic Maze, when you're good at it and when you understand what you're doing, which path to take, etc., you can actually clear out the maze very, very quickly. And if you want to know exactly how much money that 15 minutes would have made me, well, did make me, those 15 minutes made me about 900,000 coins worth of currency, which if I did that 3 more times to fit within the hour, would give me 3.6 million coins in that hour alone. Let's say you took my score and you did it 6 times in an hour. That would be 5.4 mil. And there are people that are getting higher than 9,000 thread. This is easily the fastest money-making method in the entire game if you're not using commission manuals on excavation, and it is absolutely insane. I'm gonna be honest, even if you are using commission manuals on excavation, you better be using the 2,000% ones every single time because you are not matching this without them. It is going to be a very, very close call. I just want to be honest before we get into it. I'm not an expert on Mystic Maze yet. I have not mastered this game mode, and the advice that I give you may not actually be the best advice. This is just what I've been doing. I have been using Psyche in the Mystic Maze because I find that with her Intron 1, she has very good self-sustain, especially when combined with Mr. Goodnight, who at max investment, which you'll see in this video that's been playing on and off throughout the video, can give you up to 54% of their max HP back over 10 seconds. So in Psyche's case, even with with the healing reduction, she's able to sustain her ult form for very long periods of time and burst out tons of damage. But with that said, Lizbel is probably, actually, you know what, not even probably, Lizbel is just the most broken character in the game. It's not even close. Her damage scaling is so absurd that she's able to clear endgame even with the debuffs on her and her not conforming to the element that the endgame requires. This character is absurd, and she makes this Mystic Maze running very, very easy, which is funny because you get her from Mystic Maze as well, so it kind of works. On top of that, another character that can be very valuable in the Mystic Maze is Lyn. However, when you get to the final boss, Lyn does fall off a lot because in single target, her damage isn't actually that significant, but in AoE against tons of enemies, she can sustain her ult for basically ever. So Lyn can work. However, I do find that she has a lot of problems compared to Psyche and Lizbel for this game mode in particular. When I'm running through this, I try to pick some of the doors that are less combat focused. However, sometimes I would mix it up just to see how much time loss I would have. If you manage to go through a lot of blue and yellow doors, you will save a lot of time. However, it is a lot riskier with your buffs, and you could have an overall worse run or a slower run due to not getting the right stat bonuses that you need or running into challenges against extra bosses or elites by going through the blue doors. So it's a bit risky. I do think that with all the modifiers, the combat one tends to take longer on average, but it's honestly up to you and how your luck's feeling, because you can just run into a dud run where you have horrible buffs and the blue doors don't treat you very nice. Now, one important thing to keep in mind is that demon wedges are disabled within the maze, so you actually only really have to have characters, weapons, and a genie mod. You don't even have to have the demon wedges. You just need to have the characters. They just need to exist, basically. But all in all, this method is incredibly fast, and I found it to be very consistent. Not the actual clear times, but just the fact that I'm able to make a lot of money within an hour, and overall, it's great. But for those of you who have not reached trial rank 60, like myself on my main account, don't feel bad, guys. Honestly, I've been taking my time too. There are other methods as well. You can go the Mystic Maze route, and you will still make a solid amount of money and have a lot more fun probably than doing the excavation mission. However, the amount of thread that you get for doing a level 70 maze is significantly reduced compared to the level 80 maze, especially when you consider all of the multipliers on level 80. I think I was getting anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 threads for running the level 70. I definitely felt a lot lower and a lot less effective, but it still can be a solid moneymaker. So before we get on to the best lower level money making method, I actually do want to showcase to you guys one other way to make money that you can do at lower levels, and this is your bounty commissions. Now, if you notice down at the bottom, it actually says weekly Demon Wedge blueprints, obtain 3 of 3. These Demon Wedge blueprints are rewarded for doing this up to 3 times. However, if you go over all the way to the right, you can see even more rewards available to you. These are lunar mementos, coins, and Carmine globules. Globules. I don't know why I can never pronounce this. Essentially, these 3 rewards can actually be farmed infinitely. So even though you won't be getting the drops of the actual Demon Wedge blueprints, you will still be getting the Demon Wedge XP materials, which are these. You will be getting a ton of coins, and most importantly, you'll be getting these Lunar Mementos, which I'm gonna be so honest, guys, these are so annoying to farm. Actually, 2 of these things are really annoying to farm. So it kind of does capture a bunch of resources in one. Now, I will let you know that this is not the fastest method ever unless you have a coordinated group of people. You are going to want to have multiple players in your party who you are coordinating with, who understand the game, who understand the spawns, etc., so that way you can make these runs faster. If you know how the game mode works, the order of mechanics, and where those mechanics spawn for each map, you and your coordinated team players can finish these in anywhere between 5 and 8 minutes per run, which if we assume 8 minutes just to be safe, that's still almost up to 1 mil per hour, and it's a ton of Demon Wedge XP and Lunar Memento coins, which are needed for literally everything in the game. So this ends up being a very powerful money-making method for you if you have lots of friends to play with. However, if you are solo challenging this, it will be much slower. The nice thing about the chase missions is that you technically can do the level 80 ones without having to be trial rank 60, but doing the level 70 ones, if you're pretty underleveled, is also okay too. You just will definitely notice a lesser amount of drops. However, the amount of coins you're getting, the Lunar Memento coins specifically, does not actually change that much, and same with the others, so keep that in mind. But anyways, I just wanted to add that in there before I went on to the next bit. So editor, you can do your thing and put us in the next one. But what I'm actually going to recommend instead of doing the Mystic Maze is for you guys to go fishing. I want you to go fish. In Duet Night Abyss, fishing is actually incredibly important. There are so many great resources that are locked behind the fishing shop, or there are bonus resources in the fishing shop is another way to look at it, because you can get a lot of these other ways too. But in the fishing shop, you can get things for your genie mod, you can get track shift modules, you can get stance mods, you can get a pristine hourglass for the gacha, you can get leveling materials for your demon wedges, but most importantly for this video, you can get coins, and these coins can be gotten by fishing, selling the fish, and then spending that currency on the coins. Now, this is honestly one of the most peaceful methods in the entire game to make money, because when you go fishing, you basically are just doing this silly little mini game that doesn't require too much attention, but requires some at the very least. The nice thing is that because it's not excavation, you don't have to worry about what any other players are doing. You don't have to worry about people disconnecting. You don't have to worry about players AFKing. This is all you. You can just peacefully fish, watch an anime on another monitor, watch a live stream over at twitch.tv/Brax so you can see your favorite streamer playing DNA. You can really just chill and fish for a bit. What are you doing? Sorry, I'm talking to my dog. He's stanced up under my desk. I feel like he's gonna piss himself. Don't do that. I'm on a roll right now. I'm in the flow state. Now, there are some things that make fishing significantly easier, actually, and that is going to be the auto reel feature that I will show you after I catch this really big fish. Hold on, it's coming.
One eternity later.
Yeah! Now, if you don't know what auto reel is, Genimon all have different traits, and you can actually inherit those traits onto other Genimon. If you get this Genimon trait at peace on any of your Genimon, one, you should actually have a Genimon inherit this trait so that way you can have it active all the time, and two, I'm very jealous. I've been searching for the auto reel trait forever, and I've only found 2 gold traits. One was depth and one was wise. This one is fucking useless. The auto reel trait will basically make fishing essentially automatic for you. There's still a little bit of interactivity, but it's a really amazing trait, and it's actually awesome. A couple more things to note about fishing is that the location that I showed you, I don't even think is the actual optimal location. It's just the first place that I went because I have ADHD and my brain doesn't work sometimes. What you should be fishing is Purgatorio Island. I've noticed that the fish here tend to be just better overall for the price, and it's also just, it looks really nice over here. I like the scenery, and I think that's a really important part in where you fish, because obviously you want it to be scenic because it's such a chill activity. Purgatorio Island has some different fish that you can actually go and catch and sell, but then you go to your inventory, as I showed before, you sell it. Then you can go straight to the shop, you can go to items, then pick your coins and go ahead and buy all of these, and boom, you have a ton more coins. It's a very fast method. It probably won't feel that fast, but trust me, overdoing excavation, it is a goddamn blessing. One other thing to mention is that there is a fishing limit for every single spot in the world. I believe it's either 100 or 150, but my sources tell me 100. After 100 fish are caught, or 150, whatever the limit is, you will not be able to get any more fish in that spot, but you can go to the other spots as well. One thing worth noting though is that there technically is a cap on the coins that you can get daily from fishing. So with that in mind, like, this isn't going to be the best method the entire time. It's just a little bit of a faster method than some of the other options you have at a lower level, and it's honestly just a lot more peaceful. With all that being said, you guys, hopefully you found this video helpful. I tried to go in depth on everything, but of course, if I did a full Mystic Maze run and just like went into literally every detail, this video would be like 40 minutes long, just because I'd have to pause and talk all the time, and then also I had the other methods.
A few minutes later.
I hope you guys found this helpful. If you do want a full Mystic Maze guide to help you guys get through it as fast as possible, let me know down in the comments below. And if this helped you out, make sure to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel so I can make more Duet Night Abyss content for you. Make sure to check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/Brax if you want a cool community to hang out with, and I will catch you guys next time.